So this is where we left off in our game. When we run it, we can shoot. The arrows more or less come out, but our character doesn't rotate. If you guys don't have this, again, it's your responsibility outside of class to get caught up if your code doesn't work when we do the code in class. So, I'm going to assume all of your guys' code and ladies' code works with no problems. If it doesn't, you need to follow along, and when we get to a break, I'll either answer the question or you guys download the this code from the student resources folder and edit your code to match mine. Again, I ask that you don't just copy and paste my code into yours. I want you to actually know where your error is, because you may or may Asher, you ever put on your charging cable? I wouldn't do that. That's just how stuff breaks. Because you never know that part of your quiz or on a test there may be what is the error, and there may be some pygame there. So you guys will need to make sure of those things. So yes, Lorian.
If you hold down the button, does it just keep shooting arrows? Okay, good. I was worried for a sec because mine didn't do that.
No, I have a scroll wheel.
Oh, okay.
So I am scrolling.
That'll make sense. Yeah.
Well, you can do it by the two fingers on your keypad, and it does the same thing.
Yeah.
Roughly.
All right, so this is what you guys should have, and I'm gonna go with the assumption that this is working for everyone. What we now need to do is we need to rotate our character, and then if we get to it, code the interactions between our badgers and our arrows. So we're gonna start with rotating our character. All the code we need for this, we've already written some way or another. So the first thing we need to do is, if we're editing our player's position and rotating our player, we obviously need to do all of this before we blit our player. So find your code where you screen.blit your player, and this is where we're going to start writing our code. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy code and edit it. That's all you guys should be doing for this as well. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get the position of our mouse. So where do we already know where we have to get the position of our mouse? Asher?
I think it's kind of near the bottom.
It is near the bottom.
It's in the loop where we loop through the gets.
Yes, it's in the event.type mouse button down. So we are going to copy this line of code. And then paste it up here. Woo! 1 of 5 lines down. Everyone got it? Cool. The next thing we need to do, that makes sense, right? If our character is always going to be facing our mouse, we need to always know the position of our mouse. Right? Yeah, okay. There we go. So if we need to always know the position of our mouse, we need to get it every time we cycle through our code. The next thing we need to do is, just like we did with our arrows, we need to find the angle that we need to rotate our character. Make sense? Because it's going to change every time we cycle through and every time we move our mouse. So let's scroll down. Actually, let's make a new variable called angle equals. And this last little bit, we already wrote the confusing arctangent thing. So we are going to go down here, and all we are copying Now pay attention up here, please. So all you're doing is you are copying math.arctangent, and you're going to position x plus 26, and you need the 2 parentheses after that. So again, we're just copying code we've already written because it does the same thing. So we're copying that, scroll back up, and you paste it for angle, and then you clean up, \enter. Yep. Wait, do what? Where you copy it or \enter? Where I copy it from is I go to the event, mouse button down, and all I'm copying, right, we do quiver.append, we do math.atan2, and we copy everything until player underscore x plus 26, and you get the 2 parentheses after that. Once you copy that, paste it for that angle variable. And I'm going to put gets the position of the mouse. Defines the angle that the image will rotate. I'll actually put that there. So these are just some comments that this is an example of where and why you would put comments. Because you may forget what exactly this is doing or how it works. So you put something in there that says, this is what it's doing real quick. Now we also, if our image, if our character needs to rotate, what do we need to do with the image? Rotate it. Where have we rotated an image before? In our arrows. So we're going to scroll down to the arrows, and we have our arrow rot. So what we're going to do is we are going to copy all of this, and then we're going to put it right underneath our angle variable. Now we obviously don't want our character to become an arrow. So what 3 things do we need to change in this line? Lorian, give me one.
The initial variable.
Yes, what would you make it?
Funny, maybe, or character.
Let's do player. But yeah, just something like that you know. So this is the rotated player. We need to do 2 more things. What else? Asher, give me one.
Oh, like the image?
The image, we need to change that to player. Now this last one is a little trickier to spot. What do we need to change? Hang on. Anyone else have an idea? Brandon? You don't have to tell me what to change it to, but what do we need to change?
The arrow 0.
Yep. Do you have an idea of what we need to change it to?
Would that be,
Say that again?
would it be where we spawn our player?
Nope.
Or, no, that would be
What is arrow 0?
arrow 0. That's within
Asher?
Well,
what is angle?
Arrow 0 is the rotation of it.
Correct. It's the angle between our character and our mouse. Is that what you were going to say, Lorian?
I was going to say the x variable, so no.
Okay.
So you change it to angle.
We change it to angle.
Angle 0?
Nope, just angle, because that's exactly what this line is doing. Does everyone understand that? Okay. Oh, that might be a good assignment for you guys to work on.
Mine doesn't work.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
It doesn't. The player doesn't rotate.
Yeah, because we haven't blitted the rotated version yet. So, Could you make player equal this? Yes, but we want to have a difference between a regular player. I want to show you the difference between having player and player rot in our code. So player rot, that's a rotated image. I'll walk you through. This is our player. Again, this translates it to radians, I think. Not 100% sure. Shift and copy and paste. Translates into radians. Now, what we also need to do is we need to define our player, a new player position. We will make a new variable, and then I will show you the difference if you don't make a new player position. Okay, so let's walk through this. We are going to, this one you guys will have to copy. So we're going to go player position 2 equals set of parentheses. This is going to be a tuple, it looks like. Once you have that, we're going to do player underscore x minus player underscore rot dot get wrecked dot width divided by 2 comma backslash enter.
So it's width slash 2 comma backslash enter.
Yep. You guys don't need the backslash enter. I do, so that everything fits on screen. You guys, with your smaller font and no one but you is looking at the screen, you can have it go offside like this comment does. Because none of you guys, whatever. I do it so that you all can see the entire line if I go too fast or whatever. So, this is creating our new X position. What do you think we also need to do?
The new Y position.
We need a new Y position. So we're going to copy this, paste it. What 3 things do we need to change? Player X, what do we change it to, Kevin? Player Y. Hang on, let's see. Actually, only 2 things we need to change. Mea culpa. Lorian?
Instead of width, give height.
Yep. Okay. So now we have our new rotated image and our new player position. Again, let me just put my notes here so you guys have them. Now what we're going to do, we need to screen.blit our player rot at player position 2. Now we're going to have not an error, but a warning. And I'm going to show you how to fix that warning, but I want you guys to read the warning first. And I want you guys to see if you can tell me how to fix it.
Mr. Stalter,
What
on
up,
that
Cole?
line, we forgot a second E, which probably won't work either.
Say that again, what?
We got an E on that.
Oh. See, none of you guys caught it. You guys, good job, Cole. So when you run it, you should get a warning. And your warning should be this. Depreciation warning. An integer is required. Got type float. Implicit conversion to integers using int is depreciated and may be removed in a future version of Python. Does anyone have any idea what that might mean? Zoomers, anyone have any idea? Well, I only saw two no's, so. Luke, do you know? Brandon? Well, read it. What does this say? Integers required. What does that say?
Got type float.
Okay, so what do you guys think might have to happen? It also says we need to integerize, yes. Because this player position 2 has divide by 2, so it has decimals. Does that make sense? So I can't, can I just do this? So I can't just integerize the whole thing. Lorian?
You have to make player pose 2 an integer.
That's what I just did here, and that didn't work.
Oh, do you have to like go into where we defined it and change each one?
You could, that's the harder way to do it. What is this? So int argument must be string, not tuple.
Oh, sweet.
So how do we get an individual item from a list or tuple? Using what? Starts with an I. Nope.
Index.
Indexes, yep. So what is our x index in our player position 2?
1.
Nope.
0.
0. So we'll do bracket 0. Now as soon as we break this up, we have to put it back into parentheses. So we'll get to that in just a sec. For now, this is integerized, right? This is properly integerized. We have int and then a number. Now we have a comma. Now what do you think we need to do? We did something with x, now what do we need to do?
Do the same thing with y.
Do the same thing with y, so we're going to do int player pause 2, and what's the index of y? 1. End quote. Awesome. Now, if we just have that, notice this parenthesis is for our blit. If you run this, you will get an error. Lorian.
Don't you have to put position index 0 and 1 in a bracket?
Not brackets, a
Parentheses.
set of parentheses. Yep. So this is really important. You need player rot, comma, and then parentheses that contain integer player 2, 0, integer player 2, 1. Lorian?
I'm running my code, and because I already did that, but it says player image not defined.
What'd you call your bunny? What'd you call the image of your bunny?
Player. Oh, that's why. I just have to delete the underscore image.
Oh, alright. So, once you run this, so this is the original blit.
We gotta update something, because I have 2 bunnies right now.
That's exactly, I want you to have 2 bunnies.
Oh,
Or updated.
They both move together.
Right, so what you have is if you keep both of those blits,
Still shoots from the first time.
right, we now have 2 bunnies. This is our totally original. This is our new one that rotates. This is what we want. We want just the one that rotates. However, if you use the rotated image and the original X and Y, this is what you get.
Now try. Only
See-
one of mine rotates.
Yeah, because you need to change what you blit to the rotated player. So notice we have different X and Y positions. This one contains the complicated math we did up here. If you don't have that, you have a bunny that jumps around as you rotate. We obviously don't want that, right? So this line, this variable is necessary in order to get a smooth rotation of our badger. Make sense? Sure does, Mr. Stelter. Thank you, Mickey.
Oh.
I can't do Mickey. Welcome to... No, that's not it. That's Donald Duck.
That was pretty good.
It's the only thing I can do. I can't talk like him, I can just yell like him. So, once you understand that, and that we have to redefine player X and player Y to be player position 2, you comment out the second one, and then when you run it, this is what you should have. A bunny that rotates very smoothly around one axis. However, what do you guys notice now?
The arrow's weird.
The arrows are weird.
Mine does rotate, but not at all smoothly.
Isn't that because
Go ahead, Cole.
that's like because you program them to shoot from the bow of the bunny that we just commented out? So we need to program it to where it's shooting from the new bunny that moves.
Yes. So, hang on, I gotta pause this for a sec. So, you guys are gonna have an assignment where you have to edit the code to make the arrows spawn from the middle of your bunny. The current bunny. I'm gonna give you the same 2 hints I gave the other class. Cole basically said it, but I'm gonna say it again from my lips so that you guys can hear it from me. You need to change where do you spawn, where do you create the arrows? How do you get arrows created in our game? What do?
We append them to a list.
But when?
Way down.
Nope.
4 arrows.
Nope. What action do I have to do as a person to get arrows on screen?
Oh, blit it.
Click. When I click the mouse button, so when you guys, so that's where, so that's where you need to go, and the arrows spawn from your old location, not your updated one. So your guys' homework assignment after class is to get that so that when you shoot, the arrows come from the middle of your bunny. There's 2 variables you need to change. That's it, and that's all I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna stop this video, and we're gonna start the collisions.